Good morning, students. I am Harshada More. Welcome you all in the fifth video lecture of Unit 2 for the subject labor legislation. So, we have so far discussed various important acts which are related to welfare and compensation, and today we are going to discuss a last act which is related to your Unit 2. So, let's start. The name of the act is the Minimum Wages Act 1948. So, what are the different objectives? What are the different objectives of this particular act? First of all, we'll just brief it out what this act is all about. So, minimum wages is one which provides not merely for bare substance of life, but also the preservance of the efficiency of the worker. The minimum wages fixing machinery convention was held at Geneva during 1928, and after that, this particular act has been came into force. So, what are the different objectives of this particular act? To provide minimum wages for scheduled employees or scheduled employment. Secondly, to provide minimum daily working hours, weekly rest, and overtime. Third, to promote the welfare of workers by fixing minimum rates of wages in certain industries where labor is not organized and sweated labor is most prevalent. So where it is not organized, where you can see the people who dig the holes at soil. So the people are the diggers. Keep on digging the soils. They are helping whenever there is any construction. So they are not organized workers. So to them you can say there are not organized people. So, to prevent exploitation of workers by ensuring that they are paid the minimum wages, which would provide for their substances and preserve their efficiency, so that they can achieve their minimum standard of living, and even they can have food, shelter, water. So that is a necessities for us. So next is what are the different broad features of this particular act? So it is minimum time rate of wages, minimum piece rate, and guaranteed time rate. So these are the features of this act. Then who all are eligible for getting the wages? So it is permanent employees. Secondly, there are contract employees. I'll give example. Who are permanent employees? Who have already completed their tenure of probation period, that can be for 6 months, or the people who have achieved the promotion, they'll be treated as a permanent employees of the organization. Contract employees are, see, whenever there is a construction of home is going on, you might be watching it. Whenever you are constructing your home, there might be people who are gathered for construction of your home. That can be starting from the supervisor to the every person who is doing that, who is helping to build the house. So that those all workers are on a contract basis. For that will be differs from the contract basis, where it is a time period is fixed, that it can be for 6 months they have to build this home. So this is a 6-month contract. Next is casual workers. Casual workers are workers who are working on a daily basis. There are some vegetable vendors who are selling the vegetables. The day they sell their vegetables, they'll get a money. Okay. Then people on probation get fixed pay instead of minimum wages. So I'll give example. As I have said, your probation period is a period at where the employer is observing the behavior, the work of employee, so whether he or she is doing proper work or no. So that is a 6 months period where you can't take any kind of a leave, and you have to just keep on working. You can't take any casual leaves on such period. So during that period you will be getting a fixed pay. That can be depends on organization to organization. Last is trainees get stipend and not minimum wages. So I'll give example. People who are pursuing CA, they have to do, I think, 3 years of articleship they have to complete. They have to work under a CA or professional CA who is CA under Institute of Chartered Account of India. So the person who is a CA under under him you have to work for three years. You have to learn different things, but for that you might be get only 5,000. Only 5,000 you may get. Why it is I think much more. Most of the time it is only 2,500 monthly per month they used to give for anyone who is working as a trainee under a CA. So 5,000 is mostly in a case where you are at a very reputed industrial firm. So these are the people who are eligible. Next is what is wages. So in spite of discussing this wages, I just want to brief it out. There are different various terms as well for this particular act. As I have said, every act has its own definitions. So first is, I think these definitions we have already done in previous acts, but just I want to recap. So adolescent. So adolescents are the people as per section 2A. They are the people who have attained their 14 years of age but they are below 18 years. Next is who is adult. So who is adult? So adult is who has completed his 18 years of age. So next is what is child? Child means person who has not completed his 14 years of age. Then what are the wages? There is also definition for this particular wages for the term wages. So minimum wages are all remuneration capable of being paid in money terms for a week done if terms of contract were fulfilled. See, salary is something you are getting monthly, but wages you will be getting on a weekly basis. Okay, as I have said, the people who are involved in construction of a house, they'll be getting wages of or wages on every it can be Saturday or Sundays. Okay, so wages can be includes basics. They have there is a standard wages plus dearness allowance plus house rent allowances. So every 5 years basic rate of every industry are decided by the minimum wages committee. Dearness allowances changes every 6 months and it is decided by the government. So next is fixing of minimum rate of wages. So when I'm saying fixing of this particular wages, see as per this act, while fixing of any working hours, so nowadays the standard working hours, I think it is standard working hours is 8 hours of work and 1 hour of break. So that is a standard working hours are 9 hours. So where you are working hours are 8 and 1 hour is break. So that is a rule by government. So it differs from organization to organization. So when you are deciding your working hours, it is mandatory to make 1 hour break. Secondly, they have to at least give them 1 day week off so that the employees can take rest. Nextly, if employee is involved in work that he categorize his service to or more scheduled employments, the employee's wages will include a respective wage rate of all the work for the number of hours decided at each task. And it is mandatory for employers to maintain records of all the employees work, their salary slips, their wage slips they have to maintain. So that is what all about. Next is fixing of minimum rate of wages. The responsibility for fixing the minimum rate of wages is that of appropriate government. Section 3 provides the appropriate government shall fix the minimum rate of wages payable to employees employed in the employment specified in a part 1 part 2 of the schedule and in an employment added to either part by notification in the official gazette. So they may in respect of employees employed in the employment specified in a part 2 of the schedule, instead of fixing minimum rates of wages for the whole state, fix such rates for a part of the state or for any specified class or classes of such employment in a whole state or part thereof. So shall review at such intervals or not exceeding 5 years the minimum rate of wages so fixed and revise the minimum rates if necessary. So this is all about the fixing of this minimum wages you can talks about. So this is what. Next is rate of overtime. So I think in the next slide there are different wages may be fixed by the government for different employment specified in the schedule. Different classes includes the skilled, not unskilled, semi-skilled workers, adults, adolescents, children, and apprentice. Different locations, wage rate will differ from that. So wages they can pay the wages in a kind, that can be in a cash. Sometimes the wages are, there are different ways. So the appropriate government may authorize where there has been a custom of payment in this manner, payment of minimum wages either wholly or partly in kind. So they may give you whole money at a time, or they can give you in an installment. The appropriate government may authorize supply of essential commodities at concessional rates. Next is say, rate of overtime, section 14. So, where an employee whose minimum rate of wages is fixed under this act by the hour, by the day, or by such longer wage period as may be prescribed, works overtime, the employer shall pay him for every hour or for part of an hour so worked in excess wages at rate fixed for overtime work under the act and under any law of appropriate government in force, whichever is higher, as per section 14 subsection 1. The provision of Minimum Wages Act 1948 do not prejudice the operation of provisions of section 59 of Factories Act 1948 in any case where those provisions are applicable under section 14 subsection 2. So this is all about end of your last act related to welfare and compensation. So this is what we have studied. So I'll just brief it out, the different acts which we have studied. We have studied what is Factories Act. We have studied different features of Factories Act 1948. We have studied different features of Industrial Dispute Act 1947. We have discussed Industrial Employment Standing Order Act. Then this was all about your unit 1. Then in unit 2 we have studied, that is compensation and welfare, where we have studied different acts such as Employee State Insurance Act, Bonus Act, Gratuity Act, Workman Compensation Act, Provident Fund Act, Minimum Wages Act. So these are the very important acts which are related to your unit 1 and unit 2. I hope you people are understanding. So we are done with unit 2 as well. From next class I'll be starting your unit 3 for the subject labor legislation. Unit 3 is all about industrial relations. So there are no acts after, I think, this. Whatever modules you are having after this they are not of any kind of act. So I think it is good for you people that you will not be there is no need to study any kind of act after this module 2. Okay, so that's all for today's class. If you have any kinds of doubts, you are free to ask your doubts. I'll just try to clear your doubts. So thank you.